Let me see, I'll drop on a mute here.
Okay, welcome everyone to the 25th of October 2022 VOLTHA TST meeting. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and would be later posted to a YouTube channel. So I don't think I'm sharing the screen yet. Just let me do that.
Here, I'll stop the share.
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's up.
Okay. Okay, so now we already have some agenda, which has, I think, rolled over from the previous one. Along with that, we have some items highlight from the Network X event. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing is about the highlights from the Network X event. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it to the event. Mahir, were you present there?
Yeah, I was there. And
Yeah,
Björn was there, Manuel was there, Bora was there. So yeah, it wasn't a bad event. I can say that it was we had good meetings with some operators and vendors, even the new OLT and ONE vendors we meet with. So it was a 3-day long event. We had a booth there. There was an ONS booth. We were presenting SIBA, VOLTHA there, and also either was there in a kiosk. It was in Amsterdam. And there were some other tracks like 5G, telco cloud. So there were different kinds of companies in the venue area. But yeah, I think it was a good event. We had, as I said, a lot of new touch bases and new companies we talked with. And we, try to represent the people in SEBA VOLTHA project, the people that do not know our project yet. So it was good, I guess.
Thanks, Mahir. Anyone else wants to share any of their experiences?
No, I think there's nothing to add. Quite good summary from Mahir. Thanks for that.
Okay, thanks, Ben. Okay, then let's move on to the next one. So this one is on Holger. Holger, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes,
so yeah, go ahead, Holger.
Yeah, it's dealing about possibilities to test my latest patch together with the VOLTHA setup in a DPU instead of an ONU. And today I talked to Björn, and actually we came to the conclusion that it is better to test this at the community pod, the DPU community pod, not at the telecom pod. But I had a look into the community pods. Joey, I think there's a lot of red there, and also the DPU pod. Do we have the chance to bring this back to live and to passing tests? Do you know what the status is currently?
There's one failure that I'm aware of right now. I'm not sure if that's related to your space failure, but one of the IP addresses, it's down toward the bottom of the schedule. One of the OLT, I think it's the OLT, is unresponsive on the IP address that ends in 52. There is no, does not, that port device does not appear to be on reset power, so I have no way to reboot it remotely. I did send a message to Bjorn to see if he might be able to check on it, if he has physical access, but I'm just waiting to hear back on that.
Oh, sorry, Joey, you sent it already?
I sent a message on Friday and on Monday.
But was it on
Sorry.
Slack? Was it on Slack?
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
It was a,
Okay.
it was a direct message.
Okay, so okay, I'm traveling a little bit with the Slack channel, but okay, I will bring that alive, and then for the moment, just for that particular case, to not delay it any further, can you copy the message into an email and send it to me via email, just for that once?
Sure.
So then I can take care of that immediately, and of course I will bring back my Slack channel to life.
Okay, no worries.
Bjorn, I think email is generally better I think you responded within 5 minutes to my email today. Is
yeah,
email
from time to time,
for
so
you?
that there's no guarantee to do that. But of course there's no guarantee to respond in 5 minutes to Slack a message, but yeah, it's okay for me. It's okay. I just have to bring it alive. It was quite silent on that channel, and then I had some reconfiguration on my PC, and then I missed it to reconnect. So yeah, no worries. We can also use that one.
Okay. If you prefer to use email, I can contact you through email later on if need arises again. That's not a big deal.
For the current things would be good, and then I let you know when Slack is back on live.
Okay, thanks.
But I think, Joey, this deals with OLT, where with the Atran OLT, right? Where the normal ONUs are connected, right? Or does it deal with DPU community pod? Do you know?
I think it was the
This is the FTTB is an interesting one for me. FTTB community pod.
well, I can tell you the IP address at least. It was 1034.90.52.
Okay, then I can. We have to check offline if this is the one.
Okay.
Okay, but okay.
That's the Atron combo PON OLT.
Okay, that's not the one where the DPU is connected, right? The FTTB's pod, right?
I'm not quite sure what OLT. I mean, I'm looking at a sheet where we have inventory of all the OLTs and ONUs, and it seems like, you know, that's the only. How many OLTs do we have on that pod? Atron OLTs.
I would say just
I
one, but I'm
yeah,
not finally sure.
Yeah, I see only one in the inventory, and the IP of that is 52. And it seems like we have DPU also connected on this OLT.
Yeah, okay. That's the one we need for the test.
Yeah, it makes sense why the test is not running, because the OLT is not reachable and we cannot power cycle it remotely. Beyond a request, so when you power cycle it, do you also mind, connecting it to a remote power switch if a free port is available?
Unfortunately, with the Atron OLT, that's not that simple, because it is not powered with 230 volt AC.
Okay.
It is powered with 60 volt DC. And there we don't have the remote controlled switches. So that's I think that's the only one device which is not able for the moment. So I will for the moment we cannot overcome it. So but
okay.
There's always someone in the lab. So if I wouldn't miss the request, then I'm for sure able to reboot it. by hand or locally, and then in parallel we will think about what we can do to make that remote power switchable. Yeah, okay, but for the moment we don't have a short-term solution for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no problem, thanks.
Okay, so maybe we revisit this after we are able to get the VOLT up and see that the tests run green, and then Holger is able to test out his change.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. So Gustavo, so I am not able to completely capture what the latest status is. Tracking ticket open to capture all the moving pieces. So I think all the tests, everything is done on this, right? It's just to updates of the docs testing and things like that. Or am I missing something?
Well, I'm not sure. Also, maybe Joey could clarify. But I don't have updates on that right now.
Oops.
05 of VOLTHA release with ONOS dependencies.
Yeah, I don't have any updates on this one at the moment.
Okay, but are we talking about making a patch release for this one, or is this created for the next release of VOLTHA? Okay.
This was documenting what was needed for it, and I believe the underlying effort was to create a patch release.
Okay. So you are working on this one, Jay?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So I'll just update it that Jay is. Excuse me. So, Girish, one question for you. So, when we make a patch release, we make a release of the complete VOLTHA, right? And not only of the VOLTHA ONOS.
When we make, sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, when we do a patch release,
Mm-hmm.
it would be for everything, right? As in, it will be a patch release of VOLTHA, right? So it will be 2.10.1, right?
You're talking about Helm charts?
Yes, right. So when we make a patch release, it would be, we will have some of the components updated, right, in the patch.
Right.
And then we will make a release of the Helm charts, right?
Right. You have to release the Helm charts.
Yeah. Okay. So what needs to be essentially done is that new images for those affected components would be created and uploaded, and then the Helm charts version would be bumped up, pointing to those specific image versions, and then we make the release, right? As in, I'm trying to condense it.
Right.
Okay. As well as appropriate versions or branches, sorry, appropriate branches in the in Git will be created to track the code base for that patch.
Yes. I mean, if you're releasing patch versions on, previous releases, yeah, it has to be under a branch.
Yeah. Okay.
Just FYI, 4805 just captures doing the pieces of the ONOS component that would end up going into the VOLTHA image. This is just a subset of it. And They're installing my garage door, so I'll go back on mute.
Okay. Okay, then let's move on to the next one. It says Volta Go controller, but I think it is not related to that. I think it is more related to the TT build, which was failing in the with the Zaxel OLT, right?
Yes,
Sarpan?
correct, Amit.
Yeah, so let me just get rid of this to avoid confusion.
So Gurish merged the configuration change, what I did in the pod configs, but I didn't see the effects because the job hasn't started yet. So after the job has started, job start, I will check what would be the effect. There are too many running jobs, and it takes some time. I think the last TT job ran yesterday, so probably a couple of hours later I will see the results of the job. But I don't expect all of the tests will pass. What I saw, as I said, there was an activation issue. But I will dig it down to further what is the real problem. But I am wondering one thing is that this Zyxel OLT is configured as a combo OLT, right? What I see is there is a one ONU on PON 1, I guess. That was a GPON ONU, and the other ONU is on PON 31, and it's an XGS PON ONU. Probably, yeah, go ahead. Please.
Sorry, a couple of things. So I was sorry to interrupt. So a couple of things. So it's a combo PON OLT, but we configure it as GPON or XGS PON based on the job that we are running. I mean, only that Debian package is installed. And,
okay.
And
so there is two ONU connected, but right?
Yeah, so we have both XGS PON and GPON ONUs connected on that. But as part of the job, we install only a specific technology Debian package. So it's configured to run in that mode. I would be surprised if you see a GPON ONU if XGS PON mode is configured or vice versa.
In the OLT logs, I saw two of the ONUs are discovered. But the activation is not completed, so I don't know the later phases.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's good if only the particular ONU for that technology is activated. I mean, based on what mode you configured on the OLT. But ideally, I wouldn't expect, other ONUs, other technology ONUs to get discovered and activated. If that's happening, I'd be surprised.
I see. Then only maybe there's still a configuration problem in the jobs, because what I see is that there is a ONOS port check phase, and in that phase, I think the wrong ONU port is controlled, so probably job fails off because of that.
By the way, so I was just looking at the job. For anyone interested, I'll try to post it here as well. It seems like most of the functional tests have passed. Yeah, there are a couple of failures, but
Are you looking
what was
at
the
the
status
DT,
before?
or
None of them were passing?
are you looking at a DT job or TT job?
Oh, there is a TT job. Sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at DT job. Sorry for the confusion.
No problem.
So that has probably that's not running yet.
I remember the DT job was failing, especially I was checking only the sanity jobs, by the way. the sanity was failing, but probably now it's in better condition. I don't know. I can't check right now the DT job. Okay, I'll dig a little bit more and let you know what are the results. By the way, is there a way to run these jobs manually? Probably I need to cancel all of the jobs in the queue and then later run a job manually. Is that the way?
Yes, so you have to either, I mean, you can cancel them, but you don't know. I mean, it could, you just have to, quickly run the job that you want manually. Otherwise, another job could sneak in. Yeah, but that doesn't usually happen. So you just cancel any running job and just run the job that you want, but you would need admin, access to Jenkins for that. I'm not sure. Do you have that already, or?
Yeah, I have access to Jenkins, but I don't know if I have admin. Okay, I'm checking right now. I think I can cancel a job. Yeah.
Okay, so you just have to, trigger, you just have to start the build job, and the test job would immediately follow if the build job succeeds.
Okay, thank you.
Just check with Joey when you do that. I mean, if you already have access.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Issue reported when Volt kernel commands are sent to an OLT which is disconnected.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
there are already changes in Gary. They are in review, and I answered some comments, uploaded some patch sets, but now there are more comments, and I'm planning to answer it today, clarify everything today. So it's still in review.
okay. Then we can move on to the next one. Second, this is again on you. Volt kernel changes for multiple Volta stacks. Anything you want to share on this?
I think we can remove this from the agenda. It is done and merged.
Okay.
But there's an open task. We couldn't find any volunteer to do that. Maybe we can keep just for that.
So 4798 is done,
Is
right?
done. Yes, correct.
Okay. And 4797, this is not yet done.
Yeah, needs a volunteer.
Okay, so maybe what I can do is I can open a new line item. Move this here. So this is specifically for the multiple Volta stacks, right? So when we want to change the log levels and we have multiple Volta stacks, how do we do it? It's to address that, right?
So using VOLTHA we can do it. We can change the log levels for multiple OLTs. That is done. What we need is to define an API in the RW core in Volta Protos. So we can do the Volt configuration commands via using the Volta APIs. And we should be able to do it with for multiple stacks. So VOLTHA currently accesses the KV store. That is the thing that we don't want to happen.
Okay. So then I will remove this item. That's fine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for working on that. Okay. The next one is community jobs failing. Okay.
That was
That-
the one we just talked about. Jorn was going to check on it, so we're good on that one.
Yeah. So this is the one, right?
Yeah.
And
This
the
was
next.
Yeah, this was just an update for the hardware in the Volta scale cluster. This was the equipment that we had, the 2 enclosures, the 4 blades per enclosure. 3 of the 8 blades were initially working. We had the enclosure physically removed from the racks, the blades removed and reseated in the enclosure. Since we did that, none of the equipment is responding now. So I've asked somebody at the Radisys lab if they can physically go in, do the sanity checking of cables to make sure everything's connected and see what activity is going on, if we have any LEDs flashing on the network ports or anything like that, to try and figure out if the hardware is completely dead now or if just we can't reach the equipment for some reason. And I'm just waiting to hear back from that request.
Okay. So I see you already updated that. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. I don't think we have any other topics on this page for today. So we still have 30 minutes left. So is there anything else that anyone wants to bring up for discussion today? If not, then we can end early and give back half an hour to each one of us.
All right.
Okay, and thanks everyone. Thanks for
Thank
joining.
you.
Talk to you
Okay,
guys
thanks.
Thanks.
next
Thank
week.
you. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.